Hello, Canada. It is the CFL Eastern Final. 4 teams remain. Semi-final Sunday. The shores of Lake Ontario. 2 teams, 2 cities, separated by 70 kilometers on the Queen's Expressway. Arch rivals, bitter enemies. 357 days since the Toronto Argonauts won the 100th Grey Cup. They're trying to get back to another. But in the way of Scott Milanovich is the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Yeah, for Scott Milanovich, his team 1-2 against the Ticats during this regular season, but undefeated in the postseason as a Canadian Football League head coach. He has his quarterback, Ricky Ray, played half the regular season games this season, sat out the regular season finale to be ready for this, the East Division Final, 8-3 as a starter. Henry Burris of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, only quarterback to stay healthy through this entire season. He started all 18 for the Ticats in his playoff career. He's 4-6 overall, but 2-1 against the Argos this season. Ken Austin, we know his history as a head coach in this league. 4-0 in his career as a CFL head coach, including a Grey Cup victory with the 2007 Saskatchewan Roughriders right here in this building.
Last week, his Hamilton Tiger Cats beat the Montreal Alouettes in overtime down the road in Guelph on a miserable, windy day. We don't have to worry about conditions. We're indoors. 20 degrees room temperature here at Rogers Centre. We can tell you one forecast for sure. It's going to be loud. Biggest crowd of the season here at Rogers Centre. Luca Conji's getting ready to kick it off. Argonauts won the toss, selected to receive. Chad Owens is back. We are ready to roll. The CFL Eastern Final is underway. Andre Dury has it at his 20, has a couple blocks here. Now goes backwards, kicks it back, gets a big block from Chad Owens, and Andre Dury has some positive yardage when for a moment it looked like he might have been stuck for a loss. Looked like he might have fumbled the football at the end. The Hamilton Tiger Cats say they recovered. The ball was sprung loose. And indeed, that is the call. Right there, fumble by Dury. Tiger Cats have it. What a turnaround on the game's opening play.
Andre Dury, a guy who spent a lot of time with the ball in his hands this season, but not a lot of time on the return teams where pursuits coming from all different angles. This one gets popped loose. Huge block on that play by Chad Owens. That's on the best special teams player in the East, Mark Beswick, who was down on a knee on the sidelines afterwards. Keep an eye on that for you.
Ticats from the 35. Pump and go. Burris looks end zone and was trying to get a streaking Samuel Giguère, but could not find him. This is a Hamilton offense that is deadly. Among the best in the Canadian Football League, pile up huge numbers. Our starters to watch brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes standard.
Henry Burris averaging over 300 yards a game in his 3 starts against the Argonauts this season. And a couple of his top weapons against Toronto, CJ Gable, over 100 yards per game in each of his last 2 starts against the Argos. And Andy Fantouz, one of the league's most productive receivers, particularly busy. A 10-catch effort in week 1 against these Argos.
Burris changes the play here. Calls it back. Has C.J. Gable in the backfield for blocking help. Now Gable sprung out. Burris unloads. And the pass is caught by Luke Tasker, who draws into the lineup this week for Andrea Jones, the son of NFL Pro Football Hall of Famer Steve Tasker.
Yeah, quick hitter here. Luke Tasker provides a little bit of speed, quickness, and a real unique situation for the Hamilton Tiger Cats with this young man as a mid-season addition who really knows the offense better than anybody else on the team, having played for Ken Austin and Tommy Condell at Cornell University.
Ivy League receiver, diminutive but great hands, big heart. 1st and 10, Burris to the air again. Over the top, what a Fantuz down inside the 10-yard line. Former Saskatchewan Rough Rider and Western Mustang hauls one in here, going up high.
Well, this is going to be one of the keys for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, is how they protect Henry Burris. They gave up a league high in sacks. Fantuz comes from the number 3 spot, inside receiver right in the middle of the field. Good protection that time, using the cut block to make those Argo D linemen get their hands down, think twice about rushing upfield.
First and goal. Burris again, great protection here. Decides to go, tucks it, and will barely get back to the line of scrimmage. We should point out that the Hamilton Tiger Cats, if they have had any struggles offensively, it's been in this area in the red zone or green zone within the 20-yard line to the goal line.
Yeah, the Toronto Argonauts, a team notorious for tightening up once they get to this area. Still a bend but don't break team.
Big play here. The Cats also first in the CFL in scoring on first series, opening drives this season. Burris again. Corner route, has his man, and C.J. Gable trying to lay out, and it was an overthrow from Henry Burris. So the Cats drive it down inside the 10, but the best they're going to get here is 3 points off the foot of Luka Kanji.
Well, this is what C.J. Gable does so well. Missed opportunity for the Ticats, so failing to connect. But this is a running back who's able to run routes like a receiver. You can get him out there. Not just a guy who runs flat or check down type routes. You can get him on verticals, and there they get the matchup against the middle linebacker Shane Horton in space. That's one that you got to believe the Ticats will go back to.
First blood to the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 3 points off of a turnover on the opening kick. Loud and proud at Rogers Center today. 3-0 Cats. The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by Wendy's Ultimate Canadian Combo. Baconator and Poutine. Wendy's. Now that's better. Well, we are where we were 3.5 minutes ago. Ricky Ray getting ready to go on the field after the Hamilton Tiger Cats opening kick, fumbled by the Argos. Andre Dury is not back. And this kick pooched by Luka Kanji and picked up by the Argos and brought up near the 45-yard line. Xander Robinson brings it up. Let's go to the sideline now and join Sarah Orleski.
Thanks, Rod. Last year during the Eastern Final, defensive coordinator for the Ticats, Orlando Steinauer, was the defensive back coach for the Toronto Argonauts. He met with his DBs before that game and gave them a message. Well, he did the same thing before this game here. Yesterday, he brought his entire defense into the end zone, wanted them to see this field because they have a lot of young guys, wanted them to know that they belong here. Didn't want them to be overwhelmed by today. They have 10 players on this defense that are in their first year. And I can tell you guys, it is really loud down here. The Ticats have gone out of their way to make this a home game for themselves. They have brought 3,000 cowbells for their fans. It is loud, and there's a lot of black and gold down here.
Well, those cowbells were silenced just now because Chad Owens caught that football, but it looks like he's banged up at the 40-yard line. Ricky Ray's first pass from scrimmage is complete. And let's see what happens to Chad Owens. This would be very, very costly, particularly early in this ball game, as he gets wrapped up and twisted to the turf by former teammate Evan McCullough.
And tough to tell if he might have hyperextended that knee slightly on the way down. It's more like they're examining the upper body right now, so just an awkward landing for Chad Owens.
Chad Owens, of course, is one of the starters to watch for the Toronto Argos, the defending Cup champions.
Well, and the key here today, Chad Cackard, of course, out of this lineup. Jarius Norwood is in at running back, but we know the Argos are a team that augments its rushing attack with its short passing game. Owens, Dury, keys in that, and of course a big part of that high completion percentage. for Ricky Ray. Try and catch that ball on high percentage passes and then let Owens and Dury make people miss in the open field.
Chad Owens goes to the sideline. Matthew Shinnitti is down there patrolling that sideline. We'll get an update. Ricky Ray 1 for 1. That's not surprising. High accuracy all season long, a season for the ages. Ray again, another completion. Dontrell Inman stretches for another first down. A 2 for 2 out of the chute for Ricky Ray.
For this Hamilton Tiger Cat defense, they'll have their hands full, but seem to be gaining some steam. Simone Lawrence, Defensive Player of the Week a week ago against the Montreal Alouettes in that East semi. Brandon Isaac will rotate in at that Sam linebacker spot. The former Argo had a couple of sacks against his old team back in October. D. Webb in for an injured Delvin Breaux at the boundary corner position this week.
Brandon Isaac, the former Argo, surveying. Here come the Cats. Far side again for Inman.
Well, as you've seen Inman, Rod, get a couple of early touches. He's the guy who will shift into Chad Owens' position should Owens be out for any extended period of time. There you saw the Hamilton defense doing what they need to do on those short passes, coming up and making the stop close to the line of scrimmage.
That stop right near the line of scrimmage. In fact, a loss of 1. So 2nd and 11. Go the Argos. Second in the CFL on second down conversions this season. Time for Ray. And caught by Jonathan Childs. John Childs brings it down to the 15-yard line. And Ricky Ray continues to roll here. They march it down and move the sticks.
Well, it's been one of the rare times this season that Ricky Ray and the Toronto Argonauts have had all of their receivers healthy, to the point that even outstanding veteran in Romby Bryant is a healthy scratch here today. You just saw Chad Owens make his way back into the lineup, but John Childs, healthy after missing a couple of late season games, led the Argos with 8 receiving touchdowns this year.
Ray again. Now he rolls, and again to Inman. More than half the first down yardage. I guess we can answer the question right now, Dwayne, whether Ricky Ray would be rusty. 24 days since his last start, and clearly it doesn't matter.
Well, we saw Ricky Ray with an extended absence during the regular season, and that didn't affect him at all. He came back and was still right on top of his game. His outstanding numbers, 21 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions this season. So I don't think that the 3-week break here is something that's really going to impact Ricky Ray, and if early indications mean anything.
Second down and 2. Both teams have gone to the air on every play. Ray, and there it is, touchdown, Spencer Watt. The Argos strike back. Ricky Ray puts it in the air on every play, completes every pass, and they answer the turnover field goal.
Well, this is just precision execution. Blitz comes, Simone Lawrence vacates that weak side flat. Guess where Spencer Watt's going? Easy pickings for Ricky Ray. Good recognition and execution from the Argonaut offense.
Swayze Waters for the point after. So Ray picking up where he left off. 6 plays, 64 yards. Spencer Watt takes it to the house. 7-3 Argos. There is the touchdown getter for the Argos. Spencer Watt, Vancouver product, played at Simon Fraser University. Sure-handed. Ricky Ray, though, what a start. 6 of 6. And the two teams that are best in the CFL on opening drives do exactly as advertised. They put points on the board. Argos find the end zone. C.J. Gable, Brandon Banks are back to return the kick of Swayze Waters. Big kick. 5-yard line for the mighty Mike, Brandon Banks. Banks finds a hole and a straight arm and straight into the scorer's table. And that's a mess. So we'll go to the other sideline where it's not so messy right now. Here's Matthew Shinetti.
Guys, even though Ricky Ray has had a tremendous start, every single Argo I spoke to at the beginning of the game said Shane Horton has to be the key on defense. Of course, he is replacing middle linebacker Robert McCune, who does have a shoulder injury. And of course, Horton has played defensive end most of the season. He spent all of his week beside McCune, learning all of Hamilton's different looks on offense from the middle linebacker position. McCune is on the sidelines talking to Horton whenever he can. And one Argo executive told me that it's going to have to be on Horton most of the time for those key stops. And just an aside, a quick update on Chad Owens. The training staff are talking to him, but they tell me he's okay, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Matthew. Almost a tip drill there and an interception from the Ball Hawks, which are sometimes vultures for the Toronto Argonauts.
Well, the Hamilton Tiger Cats are trying to get the ball into the hands of C.J. Gable. He was on the quick slant there. The normally sure-handed running back, despite a week one game-changing drop here in Toronto. Maybe the first one he's dropped since then.
Second down and 10, throwing down again. Great protection, but now Burris is brought down. And it's Aaron Maben. His first CFL playoff game, only his second game in the Canadian Football League. And the former NFLer has the sack.
Well, Maben, former first-round pick, was expected to do just this in the National Football League. Rush the passer out of Penn State. There he keeps the motor going, finds his way back to Henry Burris. As the Ticat quarterback tried to step up in the pocket.
Former Buffalo Bill, now Josh Bartell. High, towering kick, and Chad Owens shakes off the injury in his back. Looks for a block, and then is wrestled out at the 40-yard line. Already this shootout has begun. Ricky Ray perfect so far. 7-3 Toronto. The CFL playoffs on TSN, brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites. A week away from a trip to the Grey again. Later today, Saskatchewan and Calgary, West final. Here in the East, it's Hamilton and Toronto. Two cities that couldn't be more different. Two teams that share a lot of connections. Trying to get to the 101st Grey Cup. The defending champions leading right now. Play action again. Ray to Jarius Norwood. His first touch of the game, and it comes on a pass. And Ricky Ray, out of the gate, is 7 of 7.
And the Hamilton Tiger Cats giving some different defensive looks here. Loading up the line of scrimmage. They've got Fred Plessius in as an extra linebacker, mugged up on the line, covering up every offensive lineman. Good job there by Brian Volke to turn Norwood back in after the reception.
Orlando Steinauer has his thinking cap on. Second down and 5. Here they come. Ray lets it go. A wobbler, his first incompletion. Rico Murray watching Andre Dury. The rare 2 and out for the Toronto Argonauts, who are best in the Canadian Football League this year on drives. The least amount of 2 and outs in the CFL.
Well, a combination of two things lead to the Tiger Cats' success on this play. Some pressure on Ricky Ray, hands in his face, white jerseys around him, but as well as that, Ticats secondary did a nice job getting hands on receivers, not letting them run free and affecting the timing of that pattern.
Another boomer from Waters. Brandon Banks will step out of bounds. And another long field for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who trail 7-3 in the CFL Eastern Final.
And with the Hamilton Tiger Cats regaining possession of the ball, we'll take a look at the Argos defensive starters to watch. You've already heard Shane Horton moves into the middle to replace an injured Robert McCune. Keep an eye on two key leaders. Patrick Watkins on the corner led the Argos with 5 interceptions, but for him to occasionally match up on Andy Fantuz here today, and Khalif Mitchell will be critical in trying to control the run game, led by C.J. Gable, who had 214 rushing yards in his last 2 starts against the Double Blue.
Big win that time for the Hamilton defense, stopping the Argos in their tracks after all of that momentum early on that drive. And some ebb and flow already in this game. 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Former Argo, Rondo Steinauer. Is his defense ready right now? It's Henry Burris. Put up huge numbers this year. First time they go to the ground and they're going nowhere. C.J. Gable nominated for CFL Rookie of the Year. An outstanding season, but he was keyed on that time.
Argos had things stacked up at the line of scrimmage. See, they're going to be gap sound here. Everything taken away from C.J. Gable.
Second down and 10 from the 20. Burris lets it fly and brought in by Andy Fantuz right at the 30-yard line, and it looks like this will also establish a fresh set of downs. Fantuz with his second grab of the afternoon.
In terms of his release move, if you watch that left side of your screen, it's Demetris Morley, the Sam linebacker, is going to move out on Andy Fantuz. Does a pretty good job on the collision, not letting Fantuz get a lot of separation. You see Chris Jones lobbying for a push-off against the receiver. Pretty generous spot here, seems to help out the Ticats.
Argos defense that got beaten up in the air this year. Another overthrow from Henry Burris. There's a little too much steam on that football today. That's about 3 or 4 occasions already that he's overthrown his target.
Yeah, that one intended for Greg Ellingson. Made his return to the Ticat lineup last week after missing the final third of the season.
We have not seen the second half of the two-headed monster. Dan Lefevre. He and Henry Burris splitting a lot of the action last week in the Eastern semifinal. Lefevre can do it on the ground too. Burris, strong arm, man open. Samuel Giguère, big play. Tiger Cats brought down by Jamie Robinson. Giguère was wide open on the near side, and Burris found him.
Well, Sam Giguère is going to start off as the wide man at the bottom of the screen. He's just going to take his release wide and hang out along the sidelines. The corner, Alonzo Lawrence, goes inside. Jamie Robinson is kind of left in no man's land as Henry Burris drops it over his head to find Giguère along the sideline.
Samuel Giguère out of Sherbrooke. Spent some time with the Indianapolis Colts before coming to Hamilton. Cats moving the football inside 3 minutes opening frame. Burris pulls it back, play action, now tosses, and there is a penalty flag at the 15-yard line. Henry Burris is signaling that it's against the Argos secondary. Let's see what kind of referee Henry is. Our referee today is Glenn Johnson.
Legal contact on a receiver, Toronto number 24. Be a 10-yard penalty, resulting in a first down.
Alonzo Lawrence is the guilty party. Right into the green zone, as Ken Austin calls it, the red zone for the Cats.
Well, keep an eye on Alonzo Lawrence here. He's going to end up on Dave Stala. Stala tries to release inside. See that hand on the back of the jersey, impeding the receiver's forward progress. An easy call there for the officials.
Again, we'll see how the red zone does here as Chris Jones fires it up on the sideline. Gable takes, spinning inside the 15-yard line. Saw a lot of that this season from C.J. Gable, the former star at USC.
And this is precisely why you may not see a ton of Dan Lefevre in this ballgame. It's just the way the Hamilton Ticats offense matches up with the Toronto Argonauts. They had a lot of trouble during the season running the football against Montreal. So we saw late in the season, they adjusted. Jeremiah Masoli ran a quarterback run package. Last week against Seattle, it was Dan Lefebvre getting a lot of those carries. Gable was productive against Toronto during the year. We may not see that as much.
Second down, gets it again, carries it outside, and is stopped, stonewalled, but the spot is favorable. And it's going to be very close to a first down.
And you would think whether it is or isn't, the Ticats are going to keep their offense on the field. You venture into this territory, you want to make sure you get 7.
And again, that has been the issue for Kent Austin in this offense that has put up some extraordinary numbers this season. Again, in this area, they just haven't been able to put touchdowns on the board, a lot of field goals. It will be 3rd and inches. And they're bringing out the big boys, and they're bringing out Dan Lefebvre as well. Lefebvre spent some time in the NFL, drafted by the Chicago Bears. Dual threat quarterback. And predominantly at the beginning was used more in this situation. Short yardage. First 3rd down gamble of our ball game. Lefebvre stays low, pushes ahead. And there's a penalty flag that just flew back at the 20. He got the first down. Initial indication is it's against the Argonauts, who are now saying it's against Hamilton.
Offside. Toronto on the defensive line. 5-yard penalty.
First and goal from the 7. Quickly down to Matthew.
Guys, Chris Jones is always energetic, but he is getting in the ear of every single official that crosses his way about how long the Ticats are holding on to his defensive backs. Patrick Watkins told me about it during this week that Jones and the defense understand that Ticats do it a lot, and even Jones is pulling along Alonzo Lawrence to tell him to be careful, guys.
All right. Burris stands in to the corner. Touchdown, Andy Fantus. Andy Fantus grew up outside of London in Chatham, Ontario. A lot of people from his area here today. One of the reasons why he wanted to come back home and play with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He's found the house.
When you have Andy Fantus, you have a lot of confidence putting the ball in the air in a jump ball type situation. Henry Burris has just that. You see the terrific concentration from Fantus as he fights off the defender, Jamie Robinson.
The Tiger Cats strike back. 7 plays, 90-yard drive, 29 seconds to go in the first quarter, and already we are seeing these offenses light it up. The shootout is on.
Ticats bring the fullback, John Dellon, into that offensive picture to provide a little more protection for Henry Burris on that backside and allow the deeper route to develop. Burris throws the strike to his favorite target, Andy Fantus.
Fantus, who had a monster game, opening game of the season when Hamilton lost to Toronto and got hurt. Fantus did not put up a 1,000-yard season this year. Didn't matter, though. Chatting with him yesterday, all he wants is a chance to go back to the cup. And isn't that, if that should happen, wouldn't that be some delicious irony? Andy Fantus going back along with Kent Austin, should it happen, to Regina.
Certainly would. Precisely the reason. 3 former riders, if you want to put Henry Burris in that mix as well. Why all of those guys joined, who brought to the Hamilton Tiger Cats, get this team to its first Grey Cup since 1999.
Still a lot to be determined here, however. This is barely a quarter done. Ponji. Once again, it's Andre Dury who fumbled earlier, and Lazarus clutches on it this time. So Ricky Ray brings out Ricky Ball. Down to 3 now.
That time Andre Dury was back in that return. Chad Owens was not, and does not appear to be in the Argos offensive huddle. So we'll likely see a lot of Dontrell Inman in that spot. Argos have an extra import receiver in Jason Barnes dressed tonight, so exercising their full depth at that position.
They've used a lot of different receivers this year. Ricky Ray likes to spread it around. There's the blitz. Zips it out. Andre Dury, the scat back. There he goes. Dury over the midfield stripe. Knocked out by Arthur Hobbs on the final play of the opening quarter, which has been electrifying. Argos on the move. Hamilton in the lead. The Eastern Final underway. Good first quarter here in the Eastern Final. Hamilton leads by 3. Argos moving the football on that Andre Dury catch and run, and that's what he does, yards after catch. But the story, of course, is Henry Burris against Ricky Ray, the Battle of Ontario, which has moved from the Battle of Alberta. It's almost hard to believe that they've hardly met in the playoffs before. You almost had to take a double take. And this is the first time ever that these two gunslingers meet in a final.
Yeah, it's remarkable when you consider, as you said, the rivalry, the proximity of the cities they've played in and so on, that they've never met in a division final until today. But I would say so far, this is living up to its advanced billing. It's been worth the wait.
Henry Burris in particular was really relishing this today, particularly what he's had to go through with that dual quarterback system and answering all those questions the last couple of weeks. For Ricky Ray, ho-hum, been there, done that, won that. Just another game with an even keel. Ricky Ray, another pass complete. Spencer Watt spinning, first down. The guy who scored the touchdown for the Argos has his second reception.
A nice bit of misdirection here as Ricky Ray takes a peek to the right. Spencer Watt is the lone receiver out to that wide side of the field, so he's got lots of space to work with. Evan McCullough's playing off, so Spencer Watt comes underneath for that quick hitter.
The Argos now looking to answer that Hamilton touchdown. Almost like a boxing match already. Jarius Norwood, another ex-NFLer filling in for Chad Cackard. We saw Cackard before the ball game visiting his teammates. Chad Cackard broke his ankle practice last Friday, gone for the year, and of course big shoes to fill for Jarius Norwood. Cackard was the MOP in the Grey Cup game a year ago, and there he was, cast on in a wheelchair before the ball game. Second and 10. Deep drop for Ray. Deep throw. Has a man. Has the touchdown. It's Spencer Watt again. Wow. There is a late penalty flag, but I don't think this had anything to do with this score.
Well, they get that cluster formation into the boundary. Spencer Watt inside push, and then to the corner. D. Webb is chasing the whole way. But a strike by Ricky Ray makes it easy for his receiver.
That flag flew after the touchdown. Once again, referee Glenn Johnson.
After the touchdown, an objectionable conduct penalty on Toronto number 89. The 10-yard penalty will apply it on the kickoff.
Well, a little over-exuberance by Spencer Watt. That'll be applied to the kickoff, but Spencer Watt already a pair of major scores. Swayze Waters to convert. And the Argos move in front again. Punch, counter punch. And the Argos move on top.
As I said earlier, get a little bit of pressure on Ricky Ray and get hands on receivers and not let Ricky Ray get any further into this zone he's in right now.
Brandon Banks still on his feet. Trying to reverse field, and Banks went backwards. Pretty good field position. Remember the penalty as well to Spencer Watt along with his cohort Dontrell Inman. I don't know what a shoe shine costs, but it does cost you some yards if you do it after a touchdown.
Well, it sure does, but this one, a complete bust in the Hamilton Tiger Cats secondary. You could see Spencer Watt wide open right from the get-go. Now here's the celebration that led to the flag.
And apparently the Argos were not happy with either one of those guys after that, feeling that you don't have to do that early in this ball game.
No, you've got to be smarter than that. You can't afford to give up the field position.
Burris, good protection again, and broken route there as Burris couldn't find Greg Ellingson. Henry Burris getting a lot of protection so far. This is a Hamilton team, though, that has given up more sacks than any team in the league. Keep in mind the ball's in the air a lot, so those numbers are inflated. Argos stack the box, bring 6. Burris, good protection again, and Ellingson can get that one. Another overthrow from Henry Burris.
Pressure on the Hamilton Tiger Cat offense. So much has been said throughout this season about the accuracy of Ricky Ray, the completion percentage, how few interceptions, how few mistakes the Toronto Argonaut offense as a whole makes. For this Hamilton offense, it becomes somewhat critical that you be not equally as accurate necessarily, but you've got to be pretty efficient in order to keep them off the field, keep your defense off.
It's a fake. Now Bartell will boot it. Josh Bartell was running outside, and like an Aussie rules player, let it go on the fly. Dontrell Inman is back. Still no Chad Owens in on the returns. And a good kick from Bartell, who comes from down under. Used to playing that kind of football and used to kicking it on the run.
Well, no one shows up from this side to force Bartell. They're pinned inside, so he's going to take a look around the edge. Matt Black, the guy who recognized it and comes off his man late.
Matt Black almost locked that thing. Bartell lets it go. Last year an East Division All-Star, Josh Bartell.
Special teams coordinator Jeff Reinbold taking advantage of Bartell's Aussie rules background, knowing that he's somewhat comfortable kicking on the move.
Ricky Ray sets up shop again, goes over the middle, and Andre Dury squeezes it. And Ricky Ray is 11 of 12 for almost 170 yards and 2 touchdowns.
With just about anybody other than Ray, you'd be shocked by that start. The only incompletion was a ball that was tipped at the line of scrimmage by the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Tiger Cats last in the Canadian Football League in sacks, a team that hasn't created a lot of turnovers this season. They've got to get hands on the receivers to affect the timing.
Jarius Norwood flipped over by Simone Lawrence. Back to the sideline again. Here's Matthew.
Guys, quick injury update. Both Wayne Smith and Khalif Mitchell have gotten some treatment for some I don't really want to call them neck injuries, but just some neck soreness and some shoulder soreness. And Chad Owens, even though we don't have an official word of exactly what his injury is, he is on the bike right now pedaling by himself, guys.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. We'll monitor that. 2nd down and 6. Hamilton defense trying to get a hold here. Ray, crossing pattern again for Andre Dury. So 2 and out for the Argos.
On a rare bad throw from Ricky Ray. This one behind the intended receiver, Andre Dury. Not off by much, mind you.
And Ricky Ray's extraordinary season, even though the fact he played 10 games. Still the East Division's most outstanding player nominee. An award that he's never won. Brandon Banks back at his 20. Swayze Waters. Thunderfoot. Look at this kick. Back to the 5. Brandon Banks slips one, slides another, and close to the 20-yard line. There might have been a thought to just let that go over his head and give up one. 57-yard kick. 14-10. Argos right now, and Henry Burris and the Ticats looking to get it going when we come back to the CFL Eastern Final. It's an amazing Sunday night lineup on CTV with Once Upon a Time, The Amazing Race, Castle, and The Mentalist. Amazing. It all starts tonight at 7 on CTV. And almost all those shows in this game already. Great drama building up between the Cats and the Argos. Fierce rivals. And jumping offside was Demetrius Morley. They whistle it down as Bakari Grant made the catch, but no play.
Demetrius Morley's trying to time that blitz. Coming in off the edge. Creeps up to the line.
Toronto number 12. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
1st and 5 now for the Cats. Have not incurred a penalty yet. 5 receivers set. John Delahunt, fullback in motion. They keep it on the ground. C.J. Gable twists and turns, and looks like he will move the sticks. Maybe not, actually. That spot is a little shy, it looks like. So it will be 2nd down and short.
Dan Lefevre into the ball game in this short yardage situation.
Almost automatic for the Ticats against the Argos. Again, this is the 4th game, the most important one of all those. Lefevre goes shotgun, and a bad call. I know you cringe a little bit, even though it's 2nd down. You'd likely not see him in shotgun on 3rd, but that had bad news written on it from the get-go.
Well, the Argos played to tendency, Dan Lefevre, as a percentage of how often he's going to keep the football relative to the number of plays he's in for. So they show a look there with Brandon Banks coming on the potential sweep. The Argos don't really pay a lot of attention to it, knowing that chances are about 90% plus that Dan Lefevre is going to be the ball carrier.
Well, against the percentages this time, and that's playoff football for you.
Well, that's where you've got to throw in the key breakers, whether it's Lefevre occasionally throwing the football, giving it to Banks, whatever it may be.
So it's 3rd down. Bartel fumbles it and then still boots a liner to Inman. Inman ducks at the 43-yard line. So a battle of field position now here, getting close to the midway point of the 2nd quarter in this Eastern Final. Winner to move on to the Grey Cup game a week from today in Regina, Saskatchewan.
The Toronto Argonauts, the defending Grey Cup champions. A group for whom it's a little bit different feel than it was a year ago, where they were the upstarts.
This year they are the hunted. Last year the hunters. Ray finds Norwood out of the backfield, and he's mashed up near the 50-yard line. Twin tackles there, linebackers Simone Lawrence and Jamal Johnson, and Jarius Norwood. Looks like he hurt his knee. He is in some significant pain down there.
So the man called upon to replace the injured Chad Cackert now down himself. The Argos do have Curtis Steele, another running back, dressed as one of their designated imports today, so he's made his way into that offensive huddle.
There it is there, and they have just crushed it against the turf. We'll find out when we come back to Rogers Centre in Toronto as the Eastern Final continues.
Guys, right now coming back, it looks like Jarius Norwood injured his right knee. As for Chad Owens, the Argos medical staff just told me that he's unsure right now if he's going to come back, and it looks like a neck injury.
Well, a couple of big blows already to the Toronto Argonauts. Last year's MOP, season off the charts last year, Chad Owens. And he goes over to check on his comrade, Jarius Norwood. So the walking wounded, but the Argos lead by 4. Here come the Cats. There goes the football. There goes Andre Dury again. Dury to the 20. Foot race. Will he score? They're saying he's down at the 1-yard line. What a play by Mr. Yak. Andre Dury led the CFL in yards after catch, and he just showed you why.
Brilliant execution here from the Argos. Andre Dury is going to line up in a tight end type position, but where he gets himself loose, he's not lost because of the formation, but because of that move. The defender, Rico Murray, bites on that out fake. Dury steps back to the middle. Ricky Ray throws a strike, and then it's, as you said, Andre Dury doing what he does best, picking up yards after the catch.
Andre Dury, 3 catches, 115 yards, and dare I say, that probably 90 of those yards, 85 of those yards came after the catch so far today, and we're not even at halftime. And right now the Argos
are rolling on the field. They believe a touchdown will score.
They're going to challenge. Gives them a chance to get a breather as well. So we'll go to CFL command and review that. Normally, had it been signaled touchdown, it would be reviewed anyway. Every scoring play is reviewed, but the call on the field was that he was out at the 1. And that's a good call.
Yep, that right foot touches down, it looks like, just before the ball breaks the plane of that goal line.
Watch the ball again and the foot. Did the ball get there?
Right foot's down.
And a piece of the football just has to break the plane to be considered a touchdown. Well,
tough to say because that foot has touched the line there.
You'd almost have to have the angle right at the goal line from the far side. Maybe indeterminable. But right now the Argos riding some momentum here. Toronto gave up the football on the opening kick, gave up 3 points on a subsequent field goal, and we have had a lot of offense since then.
After review, the player stepped on the sideline prior to breaking the plane of the goal. The ruling on the field stands. No touchdown, first down on the 1-yard line.
Maybe a moot point, though, that just might be temporary because the Argos are threatening again. Zach Collaros comes in, backup quarterback, who spent a lot of time as the starter and with success during the season when Ricky Ray was out. A lot of rumors around Collaros right now, as we heard in our pregame show today. Possible trade with Winnipeg, but Collaros right now is an Argo. Curtis Steele is behind him. And for Jarius Norwood. First and goal. Collaros will take it himself, and he scores. Zach Collaros, 6th rushing touchdown of 2013, first of the playoffs.
Well, the Argos just let Collaros pick a spot. Once you see a gap, turn it up. Big collision at the goal line. but Collaros gets just enough to break the plane.
Simone Lawrence gave him a lick, but the ball was in the end zone. So was Collaros. 3-play, 67-yard drive. Only took 1:07. All thanks to Andre Dury and Ricky Ray. And Austin just shakes his head right now.
Under review by the command center.
And because this is a scoring play, and you saw Collaros, what a violent collision. His head snapped. And again, the ball has to break the plane, and we're going to take a look there. Simone Lawrence felt that he kept him out of the end zone. He may have a point.
Yeah, he may be absolutely right.
Not so sure that ball broke the plane. And again, unless that camera, Dwayne, is right on that goal line, though.
Ruling is confirmed. Touchdown.
It is a touchdown. We have confirmation. Collaros joins the party here. And the Tiger Cats are going to have to claw back the biggest lead of the ball game now. Here in the second quarter, the Argos lead by 11.
For Kent Austin and his Hamilton Tiger Cats, the key here remains patience. Henry Burris can't press and try to do too much, trying to get it all back at once. There's so much time left in this football game that it's not a matter of trying to create one big play to suddenly turn things around.
That's the key word, is patience right now, because even a couple of their plays that they've had have been overthrows. They seem to be a little over anxious to go vertical. And perhaps just some ball control right now for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Get their offense in sync and some rhythm. Get CJ Gable the ball a little more. Maybe swing it out to him.
Well, they've had a couple opportunities with Gable where they failed to connect in the passing game. One, Henry Burris had that overthrow in the end zone. Another one, Gable had a drop on a quick slant. But it appears they can get matchups that they like in terms of who's going to cover CJ Gable out of that backfield. We know he's a terrific receiver. This is a guy who's number 3 in the Canadian Football League, behind only Dury and Owens in terms of yards after the catch. If you can get him the rock in space, he can turn it into a big play.
There's Brandon Banks and CJ Gable back. It's going to be the speedster. Banks. There he goes. High hurdle and good field position for Henry Burris. Marches offense out near the 42-yard line. Henry Burris, by the way, also some outstanding numbers this season. Led the CFL in passing yards, second straight year. Became the 5th quarterback, Dwayne, to eclipse the 50,000 passing yard plateau. Also, only the 2nd quarterback to ever go 50K in the air and 5K on the ground.
Definitely a guy who's a dual threat. Doesn't take off with the ball as much as he used to. But the threat still remains should the Argos allow that opportunity.
A lot of club records for the Ticats, but the one thing they want is the trip to the Cup. Burris, loads of time here. A lot of steamboats, but that's going to be a holding penalty, it looks like. Ellingson trying to get to the football, and right now Burris is definitely having trouble connecting with number 82. This will be a holding call.
Holding. Hamilton, 63. That penalty's declined. Second down.
That's Mark Dial.
Well, one of the keys to this play is the drop by the D lineman on the nose. That's David Lee. He's going to drop into coverage. That's going to take away anything coming across underneath, like Sam Jaguar, who come into the picture. Burris looking there, but realizes that he's not going to have a shot with Lee taking away that underneath route.
Deep drop again for Burris. Flings it into coverage. It's picked off. Jermaine Gabriel has the football. The local boy who's had an outstanding season. The biggest interception of his young career.
safety, Jermaine Gabriel, is deep in the middle of the field. Sam Giguère's coming all the way from the outside on this route. He's going to take his route to into the middle of the field. Gabriel just sits back and waits for it. He's able to come up and make a play on the ball.
Second round draft pick, 17 overall. The rookie Jermaine Gabriel, free safety, does a lot of work with special teams. Ricky Ray, pump, and then to the far side. There's Chad Owens back in the ball game. And what do you know? As soon as he's in, CO has the football.
Can't emphasize enough the importance.
You know what it is? Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you. Mother, I love you. All my people back home.
Being aggressive in terms of the way they play Owens and Dury. You give Chad Owens that kind of cushion off the ball, it's going to be the underneath route. And again, first down, we've seen both already pile up huge yards after the catch because they're being given too much space.
Ray, flag flying. Owens tripped on the 45-yard line and was down there, but let's see what this penalty is about. Argo's O-line is signaling it's against Hamilton.
Offside. Hamilton, number 0. Penalties decline. Second down. Second down.
Rico Murray. It's going to be second down and less than a yard for the Argos. Chess match continues. Alaris back in. Steele behind him. Straight ahead goes Zach Alaris. First down. Number 17 will make way for number 15 once again. And normally when we talk Ricky Ray and Henry Burris, we might be talking about a Western Championship. They're in the Battle of Ontario now. Coming up, the Western Final from McMahon Stadium in Calgary. Temperature a little bit different today. Saskatchewan Roughriders, Stampeders next. Semifinal Sunday. First and 10 Argos. Up 21-10. Ray again. Inman. Double cut there from Dontrell Inman. Ricky Ray has really spread the football around his offense, and again, first down near the 25-yard line.
Once again, that blitz is coming off the strong side of the field. Brandon Isaac up on the line of scrimmage. Ricky Ray takes his eyes there. Quick read and release for another Argonaut first down.
Dontrell Inman doing a little manipulation on his finger there. Ricky Ray, the surgeon, back at it, dissecting the Tiger Cats. Childs again. Ricky Ray, 17 of 19 now. Almost 300 yards passing in this first half as we inch close to the 3-minute warning.
Once again, as a Toronto Argonaut opponent, you need to be relatively mistake-free in order to compete with these guys when Ray is in the zone.
We are in the 3-minute warning zone. We'll come back to Toronto. Argos moving the football again. Exciting first half of football here in Toronto. 3 minutes away from GMC Live at the half. Dave Randorf, Matt Dunnigan, John Climbing, Chris Schultz, and Bill Stiegel are all at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. Talk about this one and set up game 2. Ricky Ray is putting on a clinic again. The unflappable. Cool as the other side of the pillow. Leader of the Argos. Now, end zone. Childs! Juggling act, could not bring it in. For a moment, it would have been a sensational catch.
Well, this begins with a great recovery on the play by the defender, D. Webb. Comes underneath Childs to get a hand on the football. make it a difficult catch. Looks like Childs has a step on him, but a great leap and tip from Webb distracts Childs on the play.
So Swayze Waters' first attempt of the day has made his last 8 straight. 13 of 14 after scuffling for a while. And he was out of the lineup with injury. Not struggling right now. He hooks it in. The Argos are now up 2 converted touchdowns with 2:40 to go before halftime. Tiger Cats will get the football back and a chance to put some more points on the board. Dwayne, you're a big believer in adjustments and what you do at halftime. What might Kent Austin consider for the second half?
Well, I think C.J. Gable's got to be a bigger part of the Hamilton Tiger Cats game plan. Yeah, it's a 2-score ball game, which makes you a little bit nervous. But there's a whole half of football left to play here. Get Gable involved, get the Argos coming up to the line of scrimmage and run support, and hopefully that opens up some of the deeper shots.
Burris now stands in, and a low toss for Samuel Giguère. Burris was hit just as he delivered that football.
As you fall far behind, not far behind, but as you fall behind, you can't become increasingly predictable. As for a team that has had its issues in terms of pass protection during this season, again, Henry Burris sacked more than any other quarterback in the Canadian Football League. You don't want the Argos to get into a rhythm in terms of their pass rush where they're constantly coming because they know what you're doing. You've got to keep them off balance a little bit still because that's what's going to give Burris a little bit of time to throw the rock.
This time, Fantuz, Mr. Dependable, up near the midfield stripe. 2:25 before halftime. The Cats will move the sticks. Right now, Andy Fantuz seems to be the most dependable target, the go-to guy for Henry Burris.
Fantuz lines up at number 3. His zone coverage allows him a soft spot. Relatively easy delivery to move the Cats out to midfield. It seems like the first time in a while.
I've not seen much from Greg Ellingson as well. Burris out to Giguère. Another catch for him. Another Hamilton first down. Khalif Mitchell in on Henry Burris as he threw the football. Bakari Grant has yet to make a catch. He's also a big play game breaker for the Ticats. Credit the Argos defense right now, though. Cats 1st and 10 inside the 40. Quick hitter. There's Bakari Grant. It's his first. Had a catch earlier, but again, it was taken away because of penalty. Expect to see more of him.
Well, you look at Bakari Grant and Greg Ellingson. They're 2 guys in Tommy Condell's offense who, had they played every game this season, almost certainly would both have been 1,000-yard receivers. But virtually invisible in terms of the game plan thus far for the Tiger Cats.
The Tiger Cats played a lot of players, not necessarily because of injury all season either. It's Kent Austin's MO. He wanted everybody to audition and play well. 2nd and 5. Burris has running room if he wants. Now he goes. Marcus Ball is there. He stretches. Is going to be about a yard shy of the first down, it looks like. Marcus Ball getting into it.
Henry Burris gets out on the edge, and he's still got his eyes downfield, but he's got to decide right here, am I throwing or going? He decides he likes the space. He's going to turn it up and try and get to that first down marker himself. He gets pretty close. We'll get a measurement right now.
Dwayne had talked about all the players that the Cats used. In fact, it was a CFL record. 88 different players, 57 starters. Again, a CFL record. But as Kent Austin told us in our pregame sit-down, he was giving a lot of people a look and see. And he said, hey, you've got the job, but I want to replace you.
Yeah, creating competition from within. Your job is to perform well enough to keep your job. Plain and simple. Constantly trying to get better, and it's not a personal thing. by any stretch of the imagination, but it's about trying to raise the level of your team. But also as a new coach slash general manager coming into this situation, a little bit longer evaluation period needed. 2 preseason games, not enough that they carried the audition period through the first part of the season as well.
Lefevre behind center, 3rd down. 13th man rises up. Looked like it was offside Toronto. Lefevre's down, but thumbs up. His cadence may have thrown off the Argos, who are pining now for a procedure call. Clearly looked offside.
Offside. Toronto on the defensive line. 5-yard penalty. First down.
No number, just the whole line. The Cat fans like that. Fresh set of downs.
And you'll see well before the ball is snapped. Argos are surging across that offensive line. Marcus Thomas, first man to go. You never really know what Chris Jones is thinking. He just keeps it all to the side.
Yeah, gotta come out of that shell a little bit. Very conservative coach. Cats looking to get some momentum here before halftime. Burris dancing and still on his feet. Will throw it to the sideline and somehow was able to make a play, but Henry Burris was very, very lucky. He did not go down.
Well, it was one of those situations where I suspect for Ken Austin over on the sidelines, you're almost half hoping that he does get sacked, at risk of throwing one off balance or trying to force something while in the clutches of the defenders. Fortunately, C.J. Gable came wide open on the sidelines to provide him an outlet.
Big second down here. Late first half. Alif Mitchell gets in his set pose. Burris goes head first down to the 5-yard line. And Young Street just opened up and Henry Burris drove right down it.
Defense drops off. Great recognition by Burris. Look at that lane, wide open, nobody within 20 yards of the line of scrimmage. For the Argos, Henry Burris takes advantage. Good decision.
So now 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Henry Burris stays at quarterback. Gable beside him. He's going to throw, but there are whistles, and do not adjust the volume on your set. That is that loud. You could barely hear the whistles over that din. Huge crowd here today, and they came in full voice.
Time count violation, Hamilton number 1. Penalties, loss of down, it's 2nd down. Timer, please put the clock at 30 seconds.
So it was a time count violation. The play clock had expired. Cats. Another critical 2nd down here.
Well, huge. They need to get this to a 1-score ball game before the break.
Two's in motion, so too Tasker and Ellingson. Burris can't find anybody. Burris over the top, and 2 scores! So like Spencer Watt, Andy Fantuz has 2. That was almost a little basketball dish.
Yeah, nice effort here by Henry Burris to use those legs to buy a little bit of time. Andy Fantuz, you see where the route was slowed up. Jamie Robinson impeding the receiver there on his release. But Fantuz fights through. Burris stays alive long enough for Fantuz to come free on the other side.
Fantuz, like my partner here, probably a little upset yesterday after #1 team in the country, the Western Mustangs, lost to Calgary, setting up the Vanier Cup for next week against Laval. Former Mustang is Andy Fantuz. And And that was really, as you mentioned, a must score for the Ticats before the break.
Well, it certainly was. Fantu's going to push deep. He's trying to work his way across the field. Jamie Robinson, there it is, does a nice job slowing him up on that smash. Maybe a nice job there using that goalpost for a little extra rub on the defender.
There's veteran Marwan Hage, his first Eastern final. The Cats went to the Eastern final a couple of seasons ago against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in Winnipeg. Did not advance, obviously, to the Cup. Haven't been to the Cup since 1999 when they last won. But Marwan Hage was not a part of it, injured. So that was a momentum gainer. The longest serving Ticats, a great member of the community in Hamilton. 24 seconds, Chad Owens is back. Good field position here for the Argos. They still could get some points before halftime. The way this thing's been going, you never know. Owens jukes out near the 40-yard line. So let's see, will Ricky Ray be conservative here, take the lead in where it is now, or try to move this ball even further downfield? 18 seconds, probably. 2 passes, maybe 2 and a quick hitter. But you'd have to get it to at least the 40. And it's not going to matter. Argos are going to stay where they're at. Why not? What a first half for the Toronto Argonauts.
Ricky Ray was Ricky Ray, which always makes the Argo offense an imposing foe.
Buckle up for the second half. That was some entertaining football from both sides. The bitter rivals have been putting on a show. 1 touchdown game here in Toronto. The defending Grey Cup champions lead 24-17 as we send it to Dave in the panel in Calgary.
A very hot first half of football at the Rogers Center. Welcome to chilly McMahon Stadium, with the current temperatures about minus 15. It's slowly been climbing all day. They're expecting to be around minus 10 for kickoff in a couple hours here. The West Division final between the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Calgary Stampeders. Welcome, everybody. Dave Randorf with you, along with Chris Schultz, Milt Stiegel, Matt Dunnigan, Jock Climbey. Boys, remember back in week 1 when Hamilton and Toronto went at it at the Rogers Center? They scored a combined 73 points, 730 passing yards, and what a huge touchdown Hamilton gets late. But we're going to start right off the bat with a guy that we were talking about a lot in the pregame show, Ricky Ray, who started the game, Matty, 7 for 7.
Yeah, more of the same. And the difference in this ball game in the first half is simply Ricky Ray and his accuracy and ability to spot the football and let his receivers go do their thing. And on the other side, you've got Henry Burris, who simply wasn't good enough in the first half. There's a good bounce back play towards the end of the half, but Ray was on fire. He's got 3 incompletions in the first half. Remember, 2 of those are tip balls. The other one was a little behind Andre Dury, but he's in a zone, and Henry Burris has got to go toe-to-toe because he can't rely on us defense to score for him. Yes, he probably can pick up some points for Bad Banks on the special teams, but the difference in this first half is certainly Ricky Ray and his accuracy, as it has been all season long.
And you talk about Ricky Ray, one of the most precise, accurate passers, not only in Toronto Argonaut history, but in CFL history. So if I'm a defensive coordinator, if I'm a defensive back, linebacker, whatever it may be, I'm going to make it tough on him. I'm just not going to allow the opposing receivers just to run downfield wide open. And right now, the Hamilton Tiger Cats are allowing that. You see right here, Spencer White is running down the field wide open, no one within 5 yards of him. And then Andre Dury, he runs a great route, but he's running down the field wide open. You have to make it tough on Ricky Ray. He's already a great quarterback. He's already going to make some great throws. Don't allow him to have receivers running down the field wide open. When they come out in the second half, Alonzo Steinauer, their defensive coordinator, maybe needs to put some pressure on him or have those defensive backs play some bump and run on those Toronto Argonauts receivers.
Yeah, especially on him. The league leader in yards after the catch. Right. He's been putting on a show. Right up until that last Hamilton drive, Henry Burris probably just flat out was not good enough, was he?
No, absolutely not. I'm sure Ken Osmond was pulling his hair out.
Yeah, but now they they are back in the game. What does Hamilton need to continue in the second half?
Well, I think what we saw there in that last drive is exactly what Hamilton's got to be doing in the second half, and that's keeping Ricky Ray off the field by having controlled drives. That last drive took over 2 minutes, and Henry Burris finally got himself into a rhythm. So I hope we don't see Dan Lefevre. I think Burris now has finally got himself settled down in the game. It obviously means a lot to him, so he needs to continue that, but he needs to use C.J. Gable. He's only got 4 carries, 1 catch so far. That is a guy that he can rely on and lean on here in the second half to control the football.
You know, Jocko, I thought the Toronto Argonauts sent a message to Dan Lefevre and that style of football with him as a quarterback. Hamilton's in an awkward scenario here. They're not going to beat Toronto unless they outscore the Toronto Argonauts. So right now you have Dan Lefevre, who is a time of possession quarterback. He takes play after play after play, has to go the full length of the football field. But look at the aggressiveness. Look at the number of bodies around Dan Lefevre. Basically, in this game, he is not going to make plays. They are not going to lose this game because of that guy. The only way the Hamilton Ticats win the game is if Henry Burris gets hot, gets his receivers open, uses that arm strength, and goes toe-to-toe, touchdown for touchdown with Ricky Ray.
You know, last week Ken Austin said he considered strongly pulling Henry Burris against the Montreal Alouettes. Do you think he's considering it now, or did that last touchdown save him?
Well, I think that last touchdown saved him,
Yeah.
but I think he's your best hope because I don't think you stick Dan Lefevre or Jeremiah Masoli in this situation.
All right, we shall see. Andy Fantuz with a couple of touchdowns, and how about Spencer Watt with 2 touchdowns? He's got 5 touchdowns on the season. 4 of them have come against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It was quite a first half indeed. 24.
Latest and last chapter of 2013 between the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Toronto Argonauts. The Battle of Ontario, the CFL Eastern Final. Argos lead 24-17. Heading to the second half. Here is Sarah Orleski with Hamilton Tiger Cat linebacker Jamal Johnson.
Jamal, Ricky Ray was 17-20 in that first half, over 250 yards. Why have you guys not been able to get pressure on him?
I don't know. They've done a good job of protecting up front. We got to be better in our zone coverages and our man coverage, and start winning more battles up front when we one-on-one. They had a good half of football. We're still in this game, and we look forward to winning this half and winning this game.
This team has won 5 of their last 6 games, you guys, and this defense has been a big part in being able to slow teams down in the second half. What type of adjustments do you need to make?
Well, we're getting back to the basics, man. We've been in this position before. We've had a couple comeback wins this season, and so it's not uncharted territory for us. And we like I said, we've been there. We know how to win, and that's what we plan on doing right now.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, a very different Hamilton team this year. Toronto Argonauts, this time they have the bullseye on their chests. A year ago, they upset the Montreal Alouettes to make it to the Grey Cup. They have the lead and the favorite team here in the Battle of Ontario. Henry Burris, a former most outstanding player. Last time he won a Grey Cup, 2008. As a member of the Calgary Stampeders. Second half underway. Brandon Banks, they try to chase him down. Gunning for him. Very close. Losing big yardage. There was a flag on the play.
Offside. Toronto, number 89. 5-yard penalty, will re-kick.
Well, Spencer Watt was downfield quickly, and now you know why. And so add the penalty yardage on, and the fact that Banks didn't have the best return, Hamilton should get good field position here.
We'll be happy to make the Argos re-kick this one with 12 tired blue jerseys running down to cover.
There's the owner of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Bob Young. That yellow hat. Done so much to help football in Steeltown. His dream to get to that Grey Cup game. Went out and hired Kent Austin. Brought him back from the South and Cornell University. Coach and general manager. Helped resurrect this team this season. Double-digit wins, first time in eons for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. But the goal is to get to the Grey Cup game and ultimately win it. And a lot of work to do here. So a reboot to ignite this third quarter. Still a deep kick from Waters. Banks from above the same field position, but now some room and a much better result for the Hamilton Tiger Cats than previously before that penalty to the 42-yard line. So what adjustments, if any, do the Hamilton Tiger Cats make offensively heading to this second half?
I would think that a lot of it's going to be about distribution of that football and who gets involved in the game plan. You heard the fellas on the panel talk about it a little bit. You've got C.J. Gable, who's been your centerpiece all season long. That shouldn't change in the most important game of the year.
Tiger Cats score late in that second quarter. Made it a one-possession game. A lot of offense in that first half. Then we'll see the same in the second. 6 receivers for Burris. 3-man rush. And close to getting to him, and Henry Burris steps outside and made a huge juke on Marcus Ball. Able to pick up the first down. Huge play from the veteran 38-year-old Henry Burris, still with fleet feet.
Don't be surprised to see more of this from Henry Burris as the second half progresses. The Toronto Argonauts dropping a lot of people into coverage, only a 4-man rush. Getting people deep, which is going to create opportunities for Henry to run the football a little bit. We saw him do it at the end of that first half. He can keep that Toronto defense honest by using his legs a little bit here in the third quarter.
Burris, side Gable. Again, goes deep this time, looking for Ellingson. And still unable to connect with one of his favorite targets this season, Greg Ellingson, who had an 800-yard season on 53 catches and a number of touchdowns, but today a big goose egg.
Ellingson, prior to his injury, leading the Canadian Football League in receiving. Again, he, like Bakari Grant, had they played all 18 games, and Andy Fantuz, all 3 were on pace for 1,000-yard seasons.
Time to convert second down. Little tight end formation. Play action again. Burris stands in, and tosses it to Andy Fantuz for the first down. Andy Fantuz has brought his A game today.
Fantuz working in tandem with Tasker out on that wide side. As Burris gets on the move, he slides to the sidelines. Make that catch.
Former outstanding Canadian in the CFL. Leading receiver in the Canadian Football League. Member of the Saskatchewan Roughriders a couple seasons ago. Look at this formation for the Tiger Cats. 3 down linemen.
Split their tackles.
Argos don't know what to do. Out to Ellingson on the hitch. Created a little chaos. And that strange formation with Dan Lefevre in at quarterback.
So what you're seeing here is they took their offensive tackles and split them out wide, leaving just 3 men on the interior, but those guys are out wide to provide bigger bodies to help block on that hitch screen. Dan Lefevre does a count, sees where he feels the numbers are to his advantage. That's where the ball is going, whether it's a hitch or he could even keep and run himself inside should they vacate everything in the middle.
So Lefevre does not stay in for the package, but brings Burris back out, and he has his man. And inside the 25-yard line, and finally, Greg Ellingson used back-to-back here. And again, will move the chains. Loses his lid, but picks up some big yardage. Former star at Florida International, first year in the Canadian Football League.
And Henry Burris, after a few overthrows on deeper balls in the first half, seems to have settled in a little bit here to start this third quarter, connecting with Ellingson and Fantuz on some shallower routes to move the chains.
High percentage, looking like Ricky Ray on this drive is Henry Burris. Another short one, and a good catch from Luke Tasker. And again, ball control offense, taking a page out of the Argonauts' offensive playbook.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, partner. High percentage throws. And they're getting the receivers open on those quick hitters. Nice job on that play call from Tommy Condell, moving the pocket a little bit to avoid letting those defensive linemen tee off and always aiming for that launch point right behind the center.
And again, not much repetition on this drive, play to play. A lot of mix and match for the Cats. 13 yards away from tying this ball game. Stuffed is C.J. Gable. Alif Mitchell, the former BC Lion.
Well, you can see the Toronto Argonauts' commitment to trying to shut down C.J. Gable in the run game based on the fact that Gable has gashed him for 214 yards in their last two meetings. Now, the Tiger Cats still need to occasionally go to Gable because that's going to keep the opportunities for play action open. If you've got everybody keying on Gable like that, look for a little play action, fake the handoff, and move Burris around as this game goes on.
Clearly, it's being done in the air. He goes to the air again, and he's got another touchdown! Greg Ellingson! All square in Toronto. Hamilton fans roar now. A convert away from 24 apiece. Greg Ellingson silent all game, Dwayne, but this drive was a lot of number 82.
Yeah, and also a nice job from Tommy Condell and Ken Austin using their personnel packages here. It's the fullback John Delahunt coming in to help block a defensive lineman in that protection scheme to ensure that Henry Burris has the time for that route to develop to Ellingson.
No catches in the first half. Ellingson, 3 to start the second, including the game tire. Greg Ellingson, the first ever CFL playoff touchdown, ties the game at 24 here in Toronto. Guess who's in the house? The headline grabber himself. That Argo jersey. Had to pay for his own ticket. Big football fan. Chad Owens bursting outside. As we are here in the big smoke against the Hammer. Tied at 24. And a penalty flag on that return. So far, this game has lived up to the billing. All offense, big plays, yards after catch, and two legendary quarterbacks dialing it up.
We have a major foul, a cut block, Hamilton number 22. He's 15 yards from the end of the play, first down.
Courtney Stephen, the rookie free safety, coming down in coverage. He's right on the left edge of your screen. He takes on that wedge by going down to chop out their legs. Very effective, but not legal.
First and 10 Argos after the penalty from their 48-yard line. Ricky Ray, high percentage as always, takes a blow. Chad Owens to the midfield strike. Ray is okay, slow to get up. One of the first times that the Hamilton Tiger Cat front line was able to penetrate and get to Ricky Ray.
Well, the Tiger Cats stack up that line of scrimmage, and they're all coming on the play. 7 guys. Ray gets the ball out in a hurry. Simone Lawrence gets a shot on the Argo quarterback.
They did not stack the box a whole lot in that first half, and already we've seen some interesting adjustments offensively and defensively from Hamilton early in this second half. Second down and 3. To the air once again. Ray swings it out and an errant toss that time. And unable to achieve the first down. Suddenly the Hamilton Tiger Cats, you got a sense that the momentum has really swung since late in the second half. The Ticats score, and early here in the third quarter.
And Ricky Ray, rare occasion off the mark directly between Inman and Owens. They're looking at each other, not sure to whom it was intended. Again, the Tiger Cats had a little bit of pressure in the backfield on Ray.
Big kick again. This time Brandon Banks. Oh, what a bounce! The old Argo bounce from Swayze Waters as Brandon Banks did the right thing. Thought it would go to the end zone. And instead, exits stage right. 2-yard line. What a punt from Swayze Waters.
Welcome back to the Eastern Final. The Argos defense is on the field, and before that, Khalif Mitchell got the entire defense together and told them to stay mentally tuned in. There were some issues with communication the Argos felt. And now to the Ticats sidelines with Sarah Oleski.
Thanks, Matt. When you look, Greg Roy, the right guard for the Ticats, is being kept out for the rest of the game. Late in that second quarter, the doctors were examining him. They say that he is suffering from concussion-like symptoms. They want to be cautious with him. They said it isn't worth it for him to play the rest of this game.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Matt. Long field for the Ticats, and again, the crowd noise so loud here to get your play in motion. And again, it looks like another time count here from the Tiger Cats. 109 yards to go.
Procedure, Hamilton number 63. Go back half the distance to the goal, repeat first down.
Half the distance.
Hold the clock.
Half the distance to the goal isn't very far because of what Swayze Waters did.
Well, this punt takes a 90-degree turn as it hits the turf. Brandon Banks made absolutely the right decision based on where the ball was. The Waters couldn't have asked for a better bounce.
Let's see if the Argo defense can pin the Ticats. Burris in the end zone. It's a 4-man rush. Goes over the middle and quickly gets out of trouble. And why not? The security blanket. Number 83, Andy Fantuz again.
Big completion there for Henry Burris O-line. Does a nice job protecting. Quick hitter to move the sticks. Prevent the quarterback from throwing from his own end zone.
Moves the sticks and brings down the needle on the decibel meter. Quieter now. Lower snap. Burris pump fake. Now, will he go? No, he throws. Far sideline and on his knees making the catch is Ellingson. Nice adjustment by Greg Ellingson on a wobbler from Henry Burris.
Well, the pressure affected Henry Burris on that when he had to divert his eyes, but if you watch from the slot, Luke Tasker, he's just going to come across the middle, which comes wide open. As the linebackers both drop to their respective sides, nobody takes that deep middle, a shallow middle rather.
Here come the Argos. C.J. Gable on 2nd and 2, lunging. Again, C.J. Gable has really been a non-factor so far. He has been so predominant in previous meetings. In fact, go back to the first meeting between these two teams when some people felt, hey, maybe C.J. Gable might not be around much longer. He had a drop late in the game because the Cats had a chance to win and did not.
Well, even in that game prior to that drop, Gable already had 2 touchdown catches for the Ticats in that season opener.
And look at this. It'll be 3rd down. Even with that lunge, he needed more. But let's go back to that first game. And C.J. Gable's first game in the CFL. And thrilling classic.
Yeah, the screen set up perfectly late in the game for what would have been a game-winning touchdown. Gable unable to squeeze the rock, but this young man, East Division Rookie of the Year, has more than made amends over the last 17 weeks.
Yes, he has squeezed it more than anyone on that team in the backfield. Lefevre goes straight forward on 3rd down. Successfully does that. Midway through the 3rd quarter. 24 points apiece. It's Labor Day in November, the Labor Day Classic. Always used to feature the Cats and Argos, a staple. And Cats did not have a home this year, played in Guelph into their new digs next year. Here is this 3rd down gamble.
Yeah, good push from that right side. Timmy O'Neill in at right guard for the injured Greg White. Creating the hole for Dan Lefevre.
Henry Burris didn't like the way it lined up. He's going to take a timeout.
Timeout. Hamilton.
The only difference between the Labor Day kind of intensity and this is that this one drips with Grey Cup intensity. One and done. You win, you get a chance to play for the biggest prize, the oldest prize in North American sport. Next week we have it all for you beginning on Saturday. The 101st Grey Cup party all begins Saturday. Pre-game shows, 12 Eastern. That's the day before the Cup, and the 101st Grey Cup on Sunday from Regina. Hamilton and Toronto trying to get there. Calgary and Saskatchewan after this. Burris in trouble, but dumps it off to Gable, spinning again. And right now, C.J. Gable is in the crosshairs of the Argonaut defense.
Again, he's going to be the focal point of the Argonauts' defensive game plan. Even with the misdirection attempt there from the Tiger Cats, they brought Luke Tasker around on a sweep to the offensive right side of the field, trying to buy some time. But nonetheless, everybody's still flowing to where C.J. Gable, as you saw Aaron Maven almost get the pick.
Burris dancing again. Now dodging, running to the sideline. And into the Argos sideline, incomplete. So the Cats are able to escape the shadows of their goalpost after that kick by Waters. And the battle of field position now. They'll boot it away.
Well, that kick from Waters and what it did field position-wise, big for the Argos at a time when the momentum seemed to be shifting a little bit in this ballgame.
Chad Owens back. Aussie, Josh Bartel. Powering kick to the 30. Owens driven back. Beautifully. Well played by the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Ricky Ray. The Ricky Ray way again. High percentage. Touchdowns. Tie game. Time to look at our sack attack, which raised a lot of food this year for the homeless. Brought to you by Purelator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check.
Defensive end Brandon Boudreau leading the way for the Hamilton Tiger Cats with 7 sacks on the season. Khalif Mitchell tops for the Argos with 5.
Just 2 sacks in this game. Both from the Toronto Argos. Ricky Ray to Owens, and quickly converged upon by former Argonaut D. Webb and Simone Lawrence.
And this is how the Argos have to defend the likes of Owens and Dury. Can't necessarily prevent them from making the catches on those quick throws, but you can prevent the yards after the catch. Limit the damage.
Defenses, Dwayne, are starting to settle in here this second half. Here they come again. Ray goes down. Let the ball go. Slow to get up. Incomplete pass. And a quick 2 and out. Emmanuel Davis right there.
Even Ricky Ray can be impacted by pressure. It's not always about getting the sack. It's about affecting the decision making. Here, it's Brandon Isaac, the former Argo, coming off the edge. Ricky Ray sees him. That impacts the trajectory of that football, affects his vision, and it very nearly was going the other way.
4.5 left, third quarter. Haven't had a score in a while. We were used to that. Another huge boot from Waters. Banks, though. Lightning speed outside. Mike Bradwell almost brought him down, and finally Brandon Banks, former Washington Redskin down at the 15-yard line. Andy Fantuz has been the go-to guy for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. A pair of scores. Clutch catches. What else? It's the CFL Eastern Final. Checking the clock during the regular season when these teams went at it. Hamilton had the football much more than Toronto, hence the 2-1 series advantage. The second half in this game, almost that same ratio. But we are tied here, 24-24 in the Eastern Final. 4:13 to go, third quarter. Henry Burris and Ricky Ray last winter coming over to Ontario from Alberta. Trades that significantly rocked the Canadian Football League landscape. Two future Hall of Famers. Ray, his first season in Toronto, led his team to a Grey Cup. Burris is trying to do it with the Cats in his second. Quick hitter, Fantuz again. Andy Fantuz continues to pile up the yardage and move the sticks up near the 27-yard line. Sure-handed Andy Fantuz.
And Tiger Cats offensively gaining a little bit of confidence, finding some rhythm after some early struggles in this ball game. Burris spreading the ball around to all his receivers here in the second half. It seemed like it was only Fantuz through the first 30 minutes.
Double tight end package here. Brandon Banks comes on a fake, and there goes Gable. Little dump pass, and C.J. Gable goes airborne right into the arms, the awaiting arms of Alonzo Lawrence.
Well, we've seen Gable with some great hurdles this year. Alonzo Lawrence fully prepared for the Tiger Cat running back to go airborne on this one.
Almost pulled off the Fosbury flop there. High jump. Alonzo Lawrence. Second and 2. And again hanging on is Fantuz. Vacuum cleaner.
Well, we haven't seen the anticipated matchup between Patrick Watkins and Andy Fantuz in this ball game. Watkins has stayed out on Watkins Island, out on the corner. And meanwhile, Andy Fantuz, 9 catches, over 100 yards. Had that big game, 10 catches, well over 100 in week 1 against these Argonauts.
Watkins has been watching Bakari Grant a lot. Burris over the top. There is Bakari Grant, and Watkins one-on-one, and finally brought down at the 20. Another huge play from Henry Burris and the Ticats.
Well, we talked about Ricky Ray being in the zone earlier in this ball game. Seems like Henry Burris has found his comfort area right now too. Bakari Grant out wide to the bottom of your screen. Push to the inside. And Grant just runs by Watkins. Burris hits him in stride.
Oakland, California native. Played at UC Davis. Close to 1,000 yards on the season. That looked like it was offside. And no one able to hear the whistles. Cleon Lang wasn't stopping. Clearly a false start here.
Offside. Toronto number 12. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Demetrius Morley got a jump. They were trying to blitz here.
Well, that's a couple times we've seen Morley drawn offside. We can't hear it up here, but I suspect Burris is doing a pretty good job using his cadence.
1st and 5.
And Ken Austin clearly wanted to roughing penalty against Cleon Lang, who apparently didn't hear the whistle and came through and hit Burris.
From the 16, Gable up the gut. He's hauled down there. Shane Horton, who's filling in for the Hammer, Robert McCune. Big cleats to fill today. Robert McCune, shoulder injury, unable to play. Leading tackler for the Argos on the sidelines. So second down and 3. Hamilton's offense on the field a lot here. Clock ticking down in the third quarter. Lots of motion here for the Cats. Burris wanting to swing, now looks the other way. He's in trouble. Down he goes. David Lee got to Henry Burris. And significant because a loss of about 2 yards. Instead of going for it on third and maybe 1 or so, the Cats are going to have to kick a field goal. Good stand by the Argos here.
Looked like Burris may have had an opportunity to run early. Right here, you see that lane open to the right side, but quickly closed down. David Lee, ultimately the man who brought down the Hamilton quarterback.
Luca Conji, who started scoring the first drive of this game. A second field goal. And the Cats jump in front again by 3. That's 3 quarters complete here at Rogers Center in Toronto. 27-24 Hamilton. Winner to go to the Grey Cup game. The fourth quarter is next. Hamilton Tiger Cats strike early in the quarter, and then the field goal to end it. 27-24 now. They assume command of this Eastern Final, but it's not much of a command here. This is a game where whoever's going to blink first. There's been a lot of offense. We saw the defenses on both sides kind of hold pat there in that third quarter. What do you expect in this fourth?
Well, more of the same. Obviously, the top probably not going to get blown off of this thing for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Continue what they're doing. Take what the defense is giving you. Try and control the ball. I mean, we've seen them with a commanding lead in terms of time of possession. Now, that's important in terms of keeping Ricky Ray off the field, but means nothing if you don't score points with him. So, I mean, they want to continue doing the same, but they've got to finish their drives if they're going to be successful. As far as this defense, they've got to continue to try and pressure Ricky Ray and impact his accuracy and his timing with his receivers.
Ray to Chad Owens underneath. Crossing pattern, one of the biggest plays for Owens. And again, he's nicked up. Chad Owens, who got hurt early in the ball game, left for a few plays, has returned, but this guy rarely leaves. If he leaves the ball game for anything, you know it's a significant injury.
It's been a tough year for Chad Owens, but here taken down hard on his tailbone on the tackle by Emmanuel Davis.
Yet he stays in. Told me the other day, he said, it's been the fight in me. Always been a fighter. Guy who trains MMA as well. Now Ray, man open! And John Childs could not find it in the lights. That had house written all over it.
Childs in behind the corner, D. Webb. The speedster, nice release to get to the outside. He's looking back, he can't locate the football.
Looked like he looked at D. Webb for a moment, lost his focus. 2nd and 10. Ray, deep one again. And another ball that's off the mark, looking for Spencer Watt, who scored twice in the first half, and Ricky Ray knocked on his can.
Well, as you've started to see Ricky Ray more and more often on his back at the end of the play, you're also noticing that his accuracy is rapidly dropping here. It's Brandon Boudreau who's emerged as the Tiger Cats' top pass rusher. Combination, power and speed from number 91 in black and gold. beats Tony Washington to the inside to provide the heat.
Swayze Waters again, another huge kick. Banks just leaps forward up to the 10-yard line. Long field again for the Tiger Cats. Argos have not scored in this second half. They trail by 3 in the Eastern Final.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter here at the East Final. A very different mood here on the Ticats sideline. When it was 24-10, Orlando Steinauer went over, spoke to his defense, said, do not look at the score. You guys are in this. This defense is playing with a lot of confidence right now, understandably so. As we head over now to the Argos sideline, here's Matthew Shinetti.
Thanks, Sarah. On this sideline, the mood is decidedly different. Khalif Mitchell just pulled the entire defenses together and said, guys, if we stop them now, we can win the game.
Thanks to both of you. Let's see what happens here. Swayze Waters has been the most important Argo in the second half. Again, penning the Cats as Henry Burris dives to the 18-yard line. Argos have not been able to score any points here in this second half. Credit the Tiger Cats defense for that, but credit the Hamilton Tiger Cats offense. They have owned the time of possession.
Well, they sure have, but it's a two-way street, Rod. As you said, the Tiger Cat defense forcing a couple 2-and-outs, which is something they struggled to do through the first half of this ball game. But Orlando Steinauer seems to have found a formula to at least contain Ricky Ray in that offense and slow them down a little bit, as opposed to just letting them run free the way they did in the first 30.
This one far from over. You have a feeling it might be the last team that gets the football that wins. C.J. Gable is almost able to bust one there, but he's very close to making it a first down.
Well, that's going to move the sticks, and it's the second effort from C.J. Gable. One of the great characteristics in any successful running back is being able to beat that first contact, and C.J. Gable does that so well. There's the first man with a shot. He keeps those legs churning, keeps the eyes up.
Here come the Argos on the blitz. There goes the ball and a penalty flag. A slashing route that time from Ellingson. Tied the game up early in the third quarter. So many Ticat fans here as well. The Argos know this is their home turf, but
Offside. Hamilton, number 83. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
those Cat fans are vocal too. The Box J boys, I'm sure, are here. The Hammer has come well represented. Less than an hour down the road, Kent Austin. This has been a building that has had some magic for Kent Austin. One as a player, 1989. One as a coach in 2007. Grey Cups here in Toronto. Now the head coach of the Cats. 6 receivers set for Burris. First and 15. Lets it fly. Crossing pattern. And suddenly, Greg Ellingson has become a big part of this offense in the second half. A 13-yard pickup.
One of the benefits of this Hamilton Tiger Cat offense is that they do have so many weapons in it. The ability to spread the football around, prevent a defense from being able to focus solely on one person.
11 minutes to go. 3-point Hamilton lead. We're down 24-10 at one point. Khalif Mitchell lost his helmet, but surging forward again, C.J. Gable for another Hamilton first down.
Aaron Maben and Bakari Grant into it in the end of the play.
Yeah, Maben just joined the Argos recently. Former Buffalo Bill has a sack in this game. Over 300 yards for Henry Burris. Chased down by Mitchell. Avoids him. Mitchell slips. Burris slips it off to Gable. C.J. Gable now with some room. Robinson trying to get him down. And finally, C.J. Gable is brought down up near the 53, and another Hamilton first down.
This is C.J. Gable at his best. Squirming and fighting for extra yards after Henry Burris buys a little extra time with his own elusiveness. There's Gable moving the sticks.
Very patient offense for the Cats in the second half. Not going for the big play. Just some screens, some swings, some dumps like this. And twos rocked hard by Marcus Ball. Right at the midfield stripe.
Big hit delivered there by Ball. Limiting it to a 3 or 4 yard gain.
All-star season, Marcus Ball.
You can sense a little bit of that fatigue setting in, though, Rod, here in the fourth quarter on this Argonaut defense. It has been on the field a lot in the second half of this ball game.
Yeah, they're running out of some steam out there. Burris again, looking for John Delahunt. Came in on that tight end package and couldn't find him. So success for the Argo defense. They hold at midfield.
I'm looking for a little bit of a key breaker here. Delahunt in that wing position, generally a blocker when he comes into the ball game. They try to set him up on that screen. David Lee drove him back off that line a little bit. Affected the timing of that play for Burris, who was unable to see him.
Bartel trying to aim one for the sideline. Where Owens is. Penalty flag. Looked like no yards there. We'll find out when we come back. Owens slow to get up. Ricky Ray back at work. 8:23 to go in the fourth quarter in Toronto. The CFL playoffs on TSN, brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. Rod Black, Dwayne Ford, Sarah Orleski, Matthew Shinetti, and our entire crew here at the CFL Eastern Final. It has lived up to the hype. 3-point game. Still lots of time left. Ryan Bulke, last year at Rogers Center, his season ended here. He was a member of the Calgary Stampeders. Loser in the Grey Cup game. Now trying to get back to the game as a member of the Cats. Ricky Ray. Jarius Norwood's back in. Simone Lawrence drives him backwards. Talked about Brian Bulke and what last year's game and the significance of that meant to him. He's got a very interesting screensaver on his phone.
Yeah, he's got to be the only guy on the Hamilton Tiger Cats who has a picture of the Toronto Argonauts as his screensaver. But he saved that image of the Argos hoisting the Grey Cup at the end of last year's game. A reminder of the disappointment he felt.
Trying to disappoint the Argos in 2013. Second down and 8. Loads of motion. Ray now dodges one, has to hurry, tucks it and takes it, and Ricky Ray hangs onto the football just short of a first down as he was chased down furiously. The Cats were able to bring him down.
Well, Brandon Isaac made this play start to finish. He's the end man on the line of scrimmage. Ray escapes outside when Isaac beats Norwood inside. And then the race is on. Ricky Ray trying to get to that stick. But Brandon Isaac stops him just short.
Short, and the Argos will not go for it on third down. And Brandon Isaac is another ex-Argo, has something to prove. He was released by the Argos in July. Waters done a masterful job of kicking today. Brandon Banks nowhere to roam. Well, it's intense here. 6:55 to go, a lot of drama. You're not supposed to have fun, are you? Even Smiling Hank. The CFL playoffs on TSN are brought to you by Wendy's Ultimate Canadian Combo, Baconator and Poutine. Wendy's, now that's better. 6:55 remains. Hamilton Tiger Cats have owned the football in the second half. 27 offensive plays to 7. They also own a 3-point lead. There goes Hank. Burris. Henry Burris, who has become the second man on the relay team in the quarterback tandem. Lefevre doing so much running the last few weeks, but Henry Burris can still take off with it.
And if you look at the middle linebacker, Shane Horton, he's going to rotate back to play deep middle here. Matt Black, the safety, comes low, but to his side, leaves the middle of the field wide open. Henry Burris takes advantage to pick up another Tiger Cat first down.
Throwing again. Good protection. Uh-oh, look out! Burris goes down.
Got to throw it away.
Henry Burris looked like he had loads of time. And then the pocket converged, and down he went. Marcus Thomas in there, John Williams.
Well, the Tiger Cats had things blocked up. Bodies on bodies. Henry Burris just didn't feel that pressure coming from his left until late. He could have slid away from it a little bit.
John Williams, Khalif Mitchell doing a little dancing here. Burris again, hangs in, fires, caught, Bakari Grant on a missile from Henry Burris. The strongest arm in the league with a bullseye.
Argos send 5. Ticats get it blocked up. Burris steps up, delivers an absolute strike to Bakari Grant. Second down and 20, and they convert.
First and 10 now from the 42. 4.5 to go. If the Cats can find a way to get to the end zone here and eat up even more of this clock, which they have been doing this entire second half, they could be on their way to Regina. Penalty flag on the far side of the field. 41-yard line. Glenn Johnson talking with the Argos captains.
Offside. Hamilton, number 82. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Receiver Greg Ellingson. So another first and long for the Cats. It is loud in here today. Open up the upper level. We go 4. It's the injured Argo.
He looks like he may be having a cramping issue. So often you get to this time of year, and as a player, you don't think as much about hydration as you do through the hot months of the summer. But playing indoors, you're going to sweat a little bit.
Complete domination. Keep Ricky Ray off the field. That's the MO. That mission has been accomplished in this second half so far.
Part of that keeping him off the field is getting him off the field. The Tiger Cats have prevented Ray from getting in a rhythm, prevented him from getting drives going here in the second half. Their defense has been a huge part of that time of possession.
First and 15, and a 4-receiver set on the far side. Jaguar. Alonzo Lawrence forcing him out of bounds. Funny thing is, though, if that Argo defense can find a way to stop the Cats here, keep it at a 1-possession game, Ricky Ray still could be the last guy with the football here. And who else in the Canadian Football League would you want winning the football in the final 2 minutes?
Well, little question. As we talked about before, the time of possession is great, but you've got to have something to show for it in the end in terms of points.
Now 3 points is not going to do it. Not with Ricky Ray and his ability. Burris looks one way. Now he's in trouble. Goes backwards now. Penalty flag flies, and Burris is going to chuck it out of bounds. Likely a holding call. That afforded Henry Burris that little extra time And it will be a successful mission here for the Toronto Argonauts defense.
Holding. Hamilton, number 49. That's a 10-yard penalty. We're going to repeat second down.
And they're going to push him back. Make sure they get him out of field goal range here. Now they've let the Tiger Cats off the hook once already in this drive on a 2nd and 20.
2nd and long that they converted a few plays ago. Same situation. One of the biggest plays of this game on both sides. Burris can't complete it and almost intercepted, but a penalty flag, a late call here, and it's going to go against the Argos. Interference call here. And the Cats will catch a break.
Forward pass interference. Toronto, number 12. It's going to be a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Automatic first down on this.
Demetrius Morley, who's drawn the task of defending against Fantuz much of the game. You saw that the grab and shove as Fantuz went to make his break.
Andy Fantuz, for all of the catches he's made, 2 touchdowns in the first half, inducing that interference call. One of the biggest plays so far. Dan Lefevre in now. And we'll plug it up a couple of yards. Might get 2 yards on that. 2:54 to go in the 4th quarter. 3-point game. 3-minute warning in the CFL Eastern Final. Still anybody's ball game. Who will go to Regina? Who will go to the Grey Cup game? Darian Durant, Saskatchewan Roughriders, warming up in the cold in Calgary. Roughriders, Stampeders, Western Final. Next, Ricky Ray and the Argos trying to play comeback here. 27-24 they trail. Ricky Ray has hardly been on the field here in the second half, and when he's been on the field has been largely ineffective. Ticat defense has risen up. Their offense has been on the field a lot. Chance to seal this thing. 2nd and 9. Critical 2nd down conversion again. Burris open sideline. Fantuz right at the first down marker. Andy Fantuz does it again.
Well, looks like he's going to be maybe just short. Get a measurement here. The Ticats in these 2nd and long situations throughout this drive. A drive that's now into its 5th minute. Been fantastic.
And Austin has run as a player, as an assistant, as a head coach. Chance to go back to a city where he was once a hero and then had to leave and was booed out of town, then came back as a hero again. And right now on 3rd down and inches.
And Tiger Cats are looking for a touchdown on this drive, not a field goal.
Here we go.
Possession ball game.
Lefevre, 3rd down. Straightforward first down.
Hey, that right side again. Tim O'Neill, Joel Figueroa, center Marwan Hayes. Look how far forward Tim O'Neill is at the front of that pack. The great surge.
So a fresh set of downs for the Cats. 2:31 to go, a week away. The 101st Grey Cup. Full day of coverage. Game time 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. All the action live on TSN. Cats doing their best to keep that Argo offense off the field and not give Ricky Ray a chance. They'll keep it on the ground to C.J. Gable with a convoy. Carries a few. Allows forward to the 20-yard line.
You get the sense the Hamilton offensive line is just feeling and taking advantage of the fatigue of that Toronto defense. On the field for 5 minutes in this drive. One team getting stronger, the other getting worn down.
Luca Conji will be called upon. They can't get the first down. Make it a 6-point game and force the Argos to win with a touchdown. They got to get the ball though. Gable tripped up, squirts forward.
What an effort.
And another first down, Hamilton, but more importantly, the clock continues to roll here.
What an effort from C.J. Gable. Looks like he was done in the backfield, but that extra little lunge forward. If he doesn't have it, he's at least got them close enough to go for it on third down.
C.J. Gable has had one of those games. Dwayne, he hasn't had any real big plays in this game, but that's a big play. Big play defined as something over 20 yards or that. Usually a highlight reel in a game for C.J. Gable. No highlights here. Just phenomenal, phenomenal work.
Doesn't always have to be pretty, but it's all about getting it done, finding a way to get it done.
They have not given Toronto the football, and they'll continue to hang on to it. They'll wind the clock down to 1:22, so it'll be second down here. Stopped by the Argos, then Conji in a 6-point game.
Timeout.
Unbelievable.
Toronto.
Look at those numbers. Henry Burris, who's known as a big play quarterback, stretching the field, has been that nickel and dime guy today.
Yeah, a lot of credit to his offensive coordinator, Tommy Condell, for adjusting the mindset here in the second half of the ball game, taking what the defense has given him.
Another huge second down play here. Argos must stop the Cats. Burris is going to use every bit of that play clock. Wants to throw. He does. A slant. And Andy Fantuz can't hang on. And that will bring out Luca Conji. And of all things, Andy Fantuz unable to hang on that slant. He catches that football. It's pretty much game over.
Yeah, one of the best sets of hands in the Canadian Football League. Fantuz in the middle of your screen. Gets the inside position he wants, but you see that ball get into his body. Hits the shoulder pads where you can't control that bounce.
Well, the Cats will give the Argos a chance. Conji now. Field goal. 2 of 2 today. This one is good. It's a 6-point lead. And now, Ricky Ray time. 1:14 to work with. And a touchdown away from another trip to the Grey Cup.
See the look of intensity on the face of Henry Burris on that Hamilton sideline. Man under center on the other side. Nobody in black and gold can relax just yet.
The Argos last had the football 5.5 minutes ago. 1:14 for Ray and the Argos. Over the top, Chad Owens has some room. Owens and a penalty flag. Up near the 50. That ate up 7 seconds on the clock. Well, what do they call this time? This is the time for big time plays from big time players. Let's see what this penalty flag is about.
Major foul, face mask, Hamilton.
Face
15
mask
yards from the end of the play.
against Hamilton.
One big chunk.
One big chunk, and you didn't have to use up the clock. Here it is, the face mask.
D. Webb, number 5 at the bottom of the screen as Owens juked. Webb was grasping at him. All he got was that mask. The Argos are in Ticat territory.
Ray again, and too high for Dontrell Inman. It will be second down and 10. 1:03 to go. And the thing about Ricky Ray, he has been in this position so many times before. Not necessarily to get to a Grey Cup game. So many 2-minute, 1-minute drills, and never, ever gets rattled. Can he do it again? Five receivers. Protection. Top. And now it's going to be third down. Chad Owens wanted a penalty flag. He's not getting it. It's going to come down to 3rd and 10. And it could be the last play of the Toronto Argonauts season.
Owens trying to get down the middle of the field. Arthur Hobbs and Courtney Stephen converge. Ball overthrown.
They need to get to the 34-yard line. Or that's it. 3rd and 10. Ray throws. Incomplete. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats have done it. 53 seconds remain. And they're going to go to the cup. Needed 10.
Well, the Hamilton Tiger Cat defense got to Ricky Ray in the second half of this ball game. The pressure affecting his accuracy.
No points in the second half. 24 in the first. Two completely different halves. And the Cats use up as much of the clock as they can. Clock will run. Complete ball possession, domination in the second half. Ken Austin screaming out instructions here. Hamilton Tiger Cats. So many changes. So many new faces. Ricky Ray got the ball when he wanted it. Chance to win. Could not fulfill it. Gable. Bursting forward. They will count it down here shortly.
We talked to Ken Austin yesterday, and I asked him, do you see similarities between this team and your past Grey Cup champions as a player and a coach? He said, there are similarities. He said, obviously that doesn't mean we're going to win, but there are similarities. And he said one of them is just you find a way to win.
So the clock now at 20 seconds. Hamilton Tiger Cats still unable to get into the victory formation and wind it down completely. Now, stranger things have happened here. The Argos will get a chance to get the football back.
But But before the offense comes on the field, it's going to be in the hands of Chad Owens. Clock's running.
Josh Bartel, I'm sure he's going to think about angling this. And he does. Well, you never know. You never know. Throws it back. Fumbled football. The clock is at 0. It's in the end zone. And the Cats have it. And they are going to the Grey Cup. The Hamilton Tiger Cats, for the first time since 1999, are heading to the biggest stage in the Canadian Football League. As they say in the Hammer, holy Mackinac, the Tigers have knocked off the defending Grey Cup champions. And an absolutely perfect second half game plan, offensively and defensively, is why they're going to Regina.
Well, the Hamilton Tiger Cats found a way. No quit in Ken Austin's team.
Kent Austin going back to Regina. So too is Henry Burris, where it all began. Andy Fantuz. The Hamilton Tiger Cats are Eastern Division champions. And here is Matthew Shinetti.
Henry, you are an Eastern Division champion. How good does that feel?
Wow, I can't even hear that right now. I mean, you know, when we started out this season, nobody gave us a chance with the factors that we had against us. We were a young team. Kudos to our coaching staff. I mean, they did a great job of setting the foundation and getting everybody focused on one common goal. You know, this is one of the best group of young guys I've ever been with, the best locker room I've ever been with. Great bunch of guys that love to sacrifice and do things for others. It was funny, before we stepped out here, nobody talked about money or playing in the Grey Cup. All we said is that we want to make sure we can do this another week with each other. These guys will ride and die with each other, and I mean, here we are going to Regina, man. It's going to be great.
What was said before that 5.5-minute drive? What did you tell your players?
Well, we knew we had the mojo on our side, and our O-line was doing a great job of really teeing off and giving me time, able to run the ball. I just said, no penalties. Let's do exactly what we've been doing all day, but let's go here and finish something off, get some points on the board, not give Ricky too much time. And our O-line did a great job. Guys made plays, and wow, you can't beat that.
And 40 minutes of time of possession, is that, what do you think about that number?
Well, we talked about that. That's one of the best defenses against a great offense, is holding on to the ball. I mean, the guys did such a great job of making sure we stayed on the field. We converted some second and longs, which we haven't been doing a great job of this year, but we came through the clutch situations, and that's what the good teams do. And hey, we're going to Regina. We'll see you guys out there.
See you later, Henry. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What an amazing scene here in the Golden Horseshoe. So many Cat fans, black and gold, Steel Town, Eastern Division champions, back to the Grey Cup game. How about Marwan Hage? Still one more to go. One more to go. It's worked so long. Last time, 1999. They went back-to-back 98 and 99. They lost in 98, won in 99. Danny McManus, the quarterback then. 14 years later. You know what we have to have is more of this, though. Two Ontario teams like this, the Battle of Ontario in an Eastern final. It's hard to believe it's been 27 years. Wow. What a game.
Fantastic atmosphere in here and a terrific football game that lived up to the hype. And in the end, Henry Burris, shades of 2008.
Story! Yeah!
Talk leading up to that 08 Grey Cup. Anthony Calvillo and the Montreal Alouettes. AC won the most outstanding player over Henry Burris, yet Burris emerged in the big game. Probably felt a little bit like that with all the talk about Ricky Ray. Ray earning that East Division MOP nomination. Head-to-head, everything on the line. Henry Burris got her done.
How about Andy Fantus going back, Luca Conji going back? Andy Fantus, though, think about this for a second, the way that played out. That ball that he didn't catch, had Ricky Ray been able to drive the field, that might have haunted him for an entire season. As it stood out, Andy Fantus stood out in this ball game, kept them in the ball game when they didn't have a whole lot of offense early. And
for a while, he was the only guy going in that offense, but eventually they got him all involved. That was huge.
Josh Bartel down under on top. Cats are Eastern champions. Here's Sarah Orleski.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more from an East final than what we saw today. Now here to hand out the East Division Championship Trophy, I'll turn it over to the President and Chief Operating Officer of the Canadian Football League, Michael Copeland.
Thanks, Sarah. Coach Austin, on behalf of the Canadian Football League and our Board of Governors, it's my pleasure to present the 2013 Eastern Division Championship Trophy and a trip to the Grey Cup to the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
I got it. Which camera am I going to? Moment. 10 years in the CFL. You've been through a lot with this Ticats team and organization. How good did it feel to lift that trophy?
It makes every year worth it. I'm so excited for our team, so excited for our fans in our city. You know, it's 10 years, but it's so worth it.
Describe that second half to me, because the offense was able to sustain drives, stay on the field, and then your defense held the Argos pointless.
You know, we just took it play by play. You know, we trust the game plan, play hard, and don't look at the scoreboard until the end. And we did it. We played 60 minutes against a great team.
How do you feel about going to Regina?
Thank you.
Guys?
The Hamilton Tiger Cats. They are Eastern champions. Hear them roar. All the way to the Grey Cup game next week. The final is 36-24 here in Toronto.